On this edition of Lexington Now, 250 Lex, Black History Month, and winter safety tips. I'm Neil Noah. Welcome to Lexington Now for the week of January 29th, 2024. 250 Lex has unveiled the official logo for next year's 250-year celebration of Lexington's founding. We joined Mayor Gorton and organizers for the unveiling.
We are here to take another big step toward the 250th anniversary for Lexington. As you know, last September, we established the 250th Lex Commission, made up of some of Lexington's most dedicated community leaders and volunteers. The commission is responsible for planning an entire year's worth of events for 2025. Events that will honor and celebrate the cultural and historic significance of Lexington's past, present, and future. As one of its first steps, the Commission held a 250th anniversary logo design contest. This logo will help promote and celebrate the anniversary of our city's founding. This logo design is a big deal. After all, Lexington is widely known for its talented artists. After receiving 22 creative logo submissions, we are going to reveal the winning design today. This logo will be the face of the 250th anniversary. By this time next year, you will see this logo all over town in many different iterations.
The mayor asked me to be a part of the 250 celebration. I was very excited because I think it's a great opportunity for the city to acknowledge our past, but also build for our future. And it starts with this celebration that we're going to kick off at 12/01/2025. This year we've had a lot of planning. We'll continue to have a lot of planning. And like the mayor said, the logo that you're going to see, we want people to start thinking about, we talk about celebration a lot, but also I want every business, I want every organization, and if you're a local resident of our city, to think about the experience. What's your experience? Is it going to be reflective? Is it going to be showcasing? Or is it going to be helping the city fulfill its promise, which I think that we will be able to do.
So the winning design was created by Lexington resident Savannah Guthrie, who's here with her daughter. And Savannah, you knew exactly what we were looking for.
Okay.
And Savannah is a graphic designer, a traveling artist, and a proud stay-at-home mom to her 2-year-old daughter, Miriam, who's very happy right now. Yes. She is originally from Northern Illinois, but fell in love with Kentucky while attending Asbury University. And I'd like to ask Savannah to tell us just a little bit about what the logo means, how she came up with it, just whatever you want to tell us about this.
Yeah. I had a friend send me the design competition prompt, and it was actually 2 days before the deadline. So I didn't know that. Yeah, but I really love community projects. Like, some of my favorite designs have been community projects. So thankfully, I had the idea for the logo pop into my head right away, and I spent all weekend illustrating it and just getting it just right and creating lots of mood boards so I could show you guys exactly how I envisioned it being implemented everywhere.
That's Did Savannah have a part in this?
Oh, Miriam's my
I mean,
cheerleader
Miriam.
always.
Yeah. And so you can see how she has, when she designed the logo, it can work in many different ways. You see it over here with the horse. It's awesome. And Kip has the T-shirt. So I want to thank you for your hard work. We appreciate this wonderful contribution you have made to our community, which will be around probably forever in one way or another. The design really will represent more than our 250th anniversary. It'll promote our future as a growing, vibrant, inclusive community. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
February is Black History Month, and the Lyric Theater is hosting several events to celebrate. Here's more.
My name is Christian Adair, the Executive Director of the Lyric Theater and Cultural Arts Center. I was at one time the chair of the board here, and we had to change over in leadership. And so for a little less than a year, I've been leading this awesome opportunity. So we started our Black History celebration. We know that we shouldn't be just limited to a month. So we started our Black History celebration with the Winter Jazz, Blues, and Soul series, which is going on every Thursday since Martin Luther King holiday. And so the next big event we have coming up is our Gospel Explosion. That's going to be 7 choirs and soloists, and which call praise teams, will be performing to kick off the month. And we want people to come out and celebrate. It's going to be a free event, free for everyone to come out and enjoy. We also always add an educational component to the things that we do and a social component, because we're about community engagement. On that day, you also learn the history of gospel music in the different forms. So that's going to be exciting. So when people leave, they will leave with hearing some spirituality, one of the oldest forms of communication in the African American community. And then we move on to the middle of the month with Soldiers Play. And that's a series that's going to be February 9th, 10th, and 11th. And that is a play about African American soldiers during segregation. So you're going to learn from that play as well. It's a great family event. It's an educational event. And it's a great date night as well. We also have several groups performing on Thursdays throughout the month. We'll be ending with on January 29th with TD, our very young TD Young, who is well-known blues artist, and that's a free event as well. I can't forget the Black Excellence event. We're partnering with Fayette County Public Schools. That's on February 24th, and that is going to showcase the talents of our students, our young people here in Lexington, and that is going to be, it's pretty much a talent show in a sense. So there'll be poetry reading, dancing, singing, and even plays. They're going to do short skits, so it's going to be an awesome day for that. In our art gallery, during that whole month of February, we're going to have art display from Fayette County Public School students, because we're about diversity, inclusion, and inspiration. And the platform here, you know, historically, a lot of adults have been on our stage. It's a place where you used to watch movies before the first closing. But now we gear towards, you know, inspiring people of all ages to show their expression, their art expression. And we definitely want to ensure that the young people have a platform to show their art. So the importance of sharing, letting people know how important the contributions of Black Americans, African Americans. A lot of the information is not included in our history books. A lot of information, because of African American culture, we're storytellers. And a lot of it is just a verbal sharing of information that's been passed down generations by generations. So the importance of it, we have to recognize the resiliency of the contributions of a group of people that have historically been marginalized, underserved, and not had a voice. And so when it's opportunity to share the voice, to share out the importance of how it's affected everyone's lives every day, that we have to celebrate it. So our events here, our programming here, we are a nonprofit, and we have to raise money, and we have to raise money to be able to do these free programming. So the Jazz, Blues, and Soul series is free. The gospel event is free. So a lot of times we have to engage with council members and so forth, but on behalf of the city, we work with LFUCG very closely. We're an extension of the city, however, we do have to raise money, and so it's important that people know that these events are free most of the time, but we still ask for donations, we ask for contributions, we have grants, if you know, because every time we get any kind of money, we find a way to give it back to the community. We are a museum, we are an art gallery, we are a community engagement space, and we're a historic theater auditorium with a stage that's amazing, and we want people to come here and utilize this space. We have an amazing website. So it has many layers on our website. It's historiclyrictheater.com, but we just finished it. And so it's our brand new website. It's also how if you want to rent, if you want to find out what we're doing, if you want to get some history, if you want to listen to the podcast, if you want to listen to oral history, it's all on there. If you want to see art, it's a pretty in-depth website, and that's how you would contact us or come down here between 10 and 5. Do Monday through Friday, we're open so you can walk through the facility and come see the art that's on display or learn something in our African American Museum/library.
We give you some tips for winter safety when we come back.
Hello, I'm Lieutenant Chris Van Brackle with the Lexington Police Department Traffic Unit. Today we are talking about disability accessible parking and the aisles between those parking places. Accessible parking is a valuable and necessary resource for people with disabilities, and that includes the striped area next to accessible parking spots. These are access aisles, and it is illegal to park here even if you have an accessible parking permit. Police and LexPark will write tickets when they see vehicles parked in an access aisle or parked in an accessible space without a placard, and the fine is $250. Know where and where not to park. Keep the access aisles clear. Thank you, and drive safe.
Welcome back to Lexington Now. One of the most common problems faced during the winter, especially during Arctic outbreaks like we just experienced earlier this month, is frozen pipes. Here are some pointers to avoid this costly headache.
Kentucky American Water suggests for all of our customers that they take a few minutes to go ahead and prepare their homes for the cold temperatures, and that includes things like remove your garden hoses from the spigots outside your home and make sure that you get all of those garden hoses disconnected from those spigots, because if you leave those attached, then the water in those hoses can freeze during cold temperatures and cause that frozen water become ice and back up into your home and burst your pipes. So we certainly don't want that. So go ahead and make sure you disconnect those hoses. The other thing that you can do is go ahead and check around your home for any water pipes in your home inside that are on outside walls that may be susceptible when the weather does get cold to freezing during those colder temperatures. You also want to check things like basements for pipes that are exposed in basements that get very cold, because again, those pipes can freeze and potentially burst, and that causes huge headaches and obviously some damage and cost for you in the winter, and we don't want that. So go ahead and take some time, maybe check out some options for insulating those pipes at your local hardware store. And then the last thing that I would say is a really significant step to take is make sure that you and everyone in your home knows how to turn off the water to your home quickly should you have a pipe freeze this winter. And to do that, you want to know where the main water shutoff valve is located in your home. It's often in a basement or a utility room, sometimes in a crawl space, and it's typically on the side of the home where your water line enters your home from the meter. And so you want to look for that valve, and when you find it, when you identify it, go ahead and mark it with a ribbon or a piece of tape or something to let your family members know that should there ever be a burst pipe in your home, that's the valve to turn to quickly turn off your water. This winter, if you were to have a pipe freeze and burst, certainly if it bursts, you want to go ahead and again shut off that water with your main water shutoff valve until you can have time to check with your plumber, etc. But you want to keep that water turned off so that you don't cause more problems in your home. But the other thing you can do to prevent colder temperatures this winter is if you go away, for instance, if you're out of town for the weekend or you have an extended stay, away from your home. Make sure that when you adjust the heat for your home, don't go any lower than 55. It may be tempting to turn that heat all the way down, but if you do that, you risk your home getting really cold and causing those pipes to freeze. So you want to prevent that by going no lower than 55 degrees. You may, on certain nights when the temperatures are getting really cold, to have just a trickle of water dripping from your faucet to help that water keep moving and again prevent it from freezing. If you do have a frozen pipe, you want to, for instance, if it's under a cabinet, you want to open those cabinet doors, let the warm air of your home help to thaw those pipes out. You could take a hairdryer and blow those pipes. We don't recommend taking any kind of open flame to thaw your pipes because that can cause you other problems. But certainly sometimes it's time is what it takes. And again, if there's any indication that there's a leak that's being caused by that pipe, you want to turn your water off.
While the most obvious, snow and ice aren't the only dangers to be on the lookout for in winter. Here are some tips to keep safe. Like it or not, winter is upon us. And it often brings hazards like snow and ice. But there is another danger that is not as frequently addressed, and that is the cold. During especially cold weather, it is best to stay indoors. But if you must venture out, here are some guidelines you should follow to stay safe. Dress warmly in layered clothing, including a hat, a scarf, or knit mask to cover your face and mouth, sleeves that are snug at the wrist, mittens, a water-resistant coat, and water-resistant boots. Avoid exertion, as cold weather puts an extra strain on the heart. Those with heart disease or high blood pressure should follow their doctor's advice about shoveling snow or performing other activities in the cold. When outside, avoid walking on ice and keep your steps and walkways as free of snow and ice as possible. Be on the lookout for signs of hypothermia and frostbite, two common cold weather-related health problems. Warning signs of hypothermia, which is an abnormally low body temperature, include shivering, exhaustion, confusion, fumbling hands, memory loss, slurred speech, and drowsiness. If you detect symptoms of hypothermia, seek medical care immediately. Get the victim into a warm room and remove any wet clothing. Warm the center of the body first with an electric blanket if available. Otherwise, use skin-to-skin contact under loose, dry layers of blankets, clothes, towels, or sheets. Warm beverages can help increase the body temperature, but do not use alcoholic beverages. Warning signs of frostbite or an injury to the body caused by freezing include redness or pain in any skin area, white or grayish-yellow skin, skin that feels unusually firm or waxy, and numbness. If you detect symptoms of frostbite, seek medical care immediately. Get the victim into a warm room and immerse the affected area in warm, not hot, water. Do not rub the frostbitten area with snow or massage it, as this can cause more damage. Do not use a heating pad, heat lamp, or the heat of a stove, fireplace, or radiator for warming, as the frostbitten areas are numb and can be easily burned. These procedures are not substitutes for medical care, and all emergencies should be reported to a physician or healthcare provider. If you follow these simple rules and exercise caution, you can weather the worst winter has to offer and come out healthy on the other side when the warm breezes of spring start to blow. A busy week lies ahead here at City Hall, including the Mayor's annual State of the City address. And you can catch the live gavel-to-gavel action here or streaming on our website. And remember, you can find all the most accurate and up-to-date information on all city business at lexingtonky.gov. Here's this week's meeting coverage. That's That's all for now, but as always, you can keep up with us on social media. Check out the latest traffic updates on X at LexRex, or catch our live traffic cams on LexingtonKY.gov. For all of us at Lex TV, I'm Neil Noah. That's it.